Trump just sent a financial cruise missile across Putin's bow. He's not threatening tanks. He's threatening tariffs, and in Trump world, that's the nuclear option. If I think it was Russia's fault, Trump said, I'll put secondary tariffs on all Russian oil. Let's translate that from Trump speak into geopolitical fire. If the war drags on, and if Trump blames Putin, he's ready to slam Russia's most valuable export with a 25% penalty, regardless of whether American companies are directly buying it or not. That's a shot across the pipeline. And here's the twist. He might be bluffing. Or he might not. Either way, the leverage game just escalated. Let's break this down. First, why oil tariffs? Because oil is Russia's lifeline. Forget the ruble. Forget sanctions. Russia is still standing for one reason: hydrocarbons. Oil and gas pay for the war, feed the regime, and keep the lights on in Moscow. Trump knows this. So instead of threatening NATO maneuvers or more aid to Ukraine, he's doing what he always does: go straight for the money. 25% tariffs on Russian oil means any country or company doing business with Moscow's energy sector gets hit. Hard. This is classic Trump. No boots, no bureaucracy. Just economic warfare with a sledgehammer. If I think it's Russia's fault, here's where it gets interesting. Trump's wording isn't accidental. He doesn't say Russia is to blame. He says if he thinks they are, that's a signal to Putin, the door's open. But it's also a warning: don't push me. It's strategic ambiguity, a negotiation tool, a threat disguised as a maybe, and Trump makes it personal. He doesn't say America will impose. He says I will. That's not a slip. That's how he negotiates. He's setting the stage for a direct one-on-one with Putin. No advisors, no State Department fog. Just Trump, Putin, and the price of peace. I was pissed off at Putin. Here's the raw emotion that makes this moment dangerous for everyone. Trump said he was furious when Putin publicly questioned Zelensky's credibility and started suggesting new leadership in Ukraine. That crosses a red line for Trump, not because he's pro-Zelensky, but because he sees that as Putin destabilizing the negotiation board. If Putin starts dictating terms about who leads Ukraine, Trump sees that as moving the goalposts. And if there's one thing Trump despises, it's someone trying to outmaneuver him mid-deal. This isn't about ideology. It's about deal dynamics. Trump wants to make a deal to end the war. Putin just complicated that. Now Trump is retaliating the only way he knows how, by threatening the money. What are secondary tariffs? Most people miss this detail, but it matters. A primary tariff targets goods coming directly into the U.S. from the source. A secondary tariff? That's the mafia move. It hits third-party countries that buy or sell Russian oil and then re-export or launder it through the global system. That means India, China, parts of the Middle East. If they touch Russian oil and Trump's back in charge, they'll get slapped with tariffs too. It's global pressure, Trump style. And it's potentially devastating. Why now? Because Trump smells leverage. He's not president yet. But the entire world is recalibrating based on the likelihood that he will be again. Markets move on signals. So do regimes. By floating this tariff threat now, Trump puts pressure on Putin to cool it before the U.S. election. This isn't just about ending the war. It's about creating a narrative. Only Trump can end the war. He's not just selling policy. He's selling inevitability. Will Putin blink? That's the billion-barrel question. Putin respects force, but only the kind that hits hard. Tariffs. Those aren't tanks. But they are real. If Trump's threat is credible, and it might be, Russia's energy export system could face a major shock, especially if secondary sanctions scare off India and China, two of its biggest customers. But here's the gamble. Putin might call the bluff, or he might try to accelerate the war before Trump returns, banking on Biden's indecision. Either way, Trump has altered the calculus. What does this mean for Ukraine? It depends on your lens. If you believe the war ends through negotiation, not total military victory, then Trump's strategy could work. Cut off the funds. Force a deal. End the bloodshed. If, on the other hand, you think Ukraine needs full NATO support and unconditional Western aid, then Trump's move is dangerous. Because he's not playing Team NATO. He's playing Team Trump. And that means results over process. The real losers? The arms dealers and aid bureaucrats who profit from endless war. They don't want this to end. But Trump's threat makes one thing clear. He does. Even if it means torching some of Putin's cash flow to do it. The back-channel play. Trump's planning to speak with Putin this week. This isn't just posturing. This is back-channel diplomacy, before the formal campaign even hits full stride. No one else is doing this. Not Biden, not Macron, not Sunak. Trump is pre-negotiating a geopolitical ceasefire before he's even re-elected. That's bold. That's risky. That's Trump. If it works, he walks into the White House as the man who ended a war without firing a shot. If it fails, he still wins the narrative. At least I tried. In what to watch next? Does Putin respond? Any signal from Moscow in the next few days will tell us whether this threat landed. How does Biden react? Silence would be weakness. Counter threats would backfire. Expect a deflection. Do markets move? If oil futures spike or dip, it means Wall Street takes Trump's tariff threat seriously. Does Zelensky panic? If Ukraine sees its Western pipeline of support drying up post-2024, expect a PR blitz or escalated asks. Will China get involved? If secondary tariffs threaten their oil supply chains, Beijing may start whispering in Putin's ear to de-escalate. Final thought. This is how you change the game, by threatening the one thing no one else is willing to. The cash flow. Trump's not promising more weapons. He's threatening to shut off the fuel line. Love him or hate him, the man understands leverage. And for Putin, the message is clear. Make peace or pay at the pump. Drop your take in the comments. Will tariffs end the war or blow things up even more? Like, subscribe, share if you're sick of forever wars and fake diplomacy. Because this one just got real.